Hello, everyone. A storm is passing over the lab. Fortunately, I have secured all of the circuits in the lab, unless there is a power outage. No problem. While I get the lights back on, see if you can illuminate where we are in today's Superbook adventure.
Info scan initiating. Destination, Egypt. In the time of Moses. Info scan complete.
Hey guys, Joy here. Thank you for coming along with Chris, Gizmo, and me as we visited Moses. What an amazing adventure! Our journey took us to the land of Egypt. Egypt was ruled by the Pharaoh. That was the title for their king. The Egyptians believed in many false gods and that the Pharaoh was able to talk to those gods on their behalf. They didn't realize that there is only one true God.
I do not know the Lord, nor will I let Israel go.
There are many carvings and statues of the various pharaohs found in tombs and other archaeological sites throughout Egypt. During the time of Moses, the Israelites were slaves, forced to build cities and storehouses. This painting from the tomb of Rekhmire at Thebes shows a group of slaves making bricks in Egypt. This is the kind of work the Israelites were forced to do. In Goshen, the Israelites built the city of Ramesses. This is the area the Israelites left behind as Moses led them out of slavery.
The Hebrew slaves faced some difficult challenges, but God had a plan. Well, I have a plan too. If I could just find my way through this mess. While I keep searching, see if you can find the best of the best in our Superbook adventure. Much better. Let's see if you can remember some facts from Moses' great adventure in Egypt. Do you remember how many plagues struck the nation of Egypt? Was it A, 7, B, 2, C, 10, or D, 21? The correct answer is C, 10. Can you name 3 of the plagues? I will give you some time to name as many as you can remember. You all did a great job of remembering. If you forgot any, here is a list of all 10. Water turned to blood. Frogs. Lice. Flies. Disease on livestock. Boils. Hail. Locusts. Darkness. And the final plague, the death of the firstborn.
Info scan initiating. Destination, Midian. In the time of Moses. Info scan complete.
When God spoke to Moses and told him to go and lead his people out of slavery, Moses didn't want to do it. He didn't think he was good enough for such a big mission.
Oh, Lord, I am not very good with words.
Who makes a person's mouth? Who decides whether people speak or do not speak, hear or do not hear, see or do not see? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go. When you speak, I will be with you and give you the words to say.
God was telling Moses not to worry. Moses didn't have to be good enough. God himself was going to save Israel. Remember that Pharaoh and the Egyptians didn't know that God was the one true God. They believed in many gods.
And you may tell this so-called God, who makes such bold demands, that he has no power in my kingdom.
The miracles that God performed through Moses showed Pharaoh that God was indeed God of everywhere, Egypt included. The Westcar Papyrus, an ancient Egyptian text, tells of court magicians turning their staffs into snakes. Moses' snake proved to be more powerful, actually eating the magician's snakes.
Whoa, never seen a snake swallow another snake before.
The 10 plagues continued to show God's power over all of Egypt. The Ipuwer Papyrus, an ancient document stored in the National Museum of Antiquities in the Netherlands, describes what appears to be the plagues from the Egyptian point of view. No wonder the Egyptians were so frightened. Many of the plagues were direct proof that God was more powerful than the false gods of Egypt. When God turned the Nile into blood, he showed power over the gods of Egypt that protected the Nile: Num, Hapi, and Osiris. The plague of frogs would have been an insult to the god Hecht, who is shaped like a frog. Just like Hathor and Apis looked like cattle. Imhotep, the god of medicine, was unable to help the boils. Nut, the protector of the sky, was just as powerless as Isis and Set, the protectors of crops. Then, in the midst of the plagues, they reached out to their biggest god, Ra, the god of the sun.
All-powerful Ra, God of the eternal sun, protect us against the torments of this shepherd's god.
Of course, the one true God is stronger than Ra.
Okay, that'll teach Ra.
The plagues were only a small show of God's power. So just as Moses learned, you don't have to be powerful when you have the all-powerful God with you.
Today's Superverse is Exodus 4, 10-12. Moses pleaded, "Oh Lord, I am not very good with words." Then the Lord asked Moses, "Who makes a person's mouth? Is it not I, the Lord? Now go. I will be with you as you speak, and I will instruct you in what to say." The storm is past, the sun is shining. I think this day is turning out pretty great. One question remains. Will you trust God even when life gets difficult? Until next time, this is Gizmo out. Much better.